Welcome everyone to Clayton's Classroom, a Doc of Detox show. I'm Dr. Darrell Wolfe, and here with me is my amazing co-host, Clayton Nolte, the inventor of our structured water units. But before we get started, I have some announcements for all you viewers out there. We are going to be in Adelaide, Australia on February the 1st to the 12th, and we're going to be teaching the Wolfe Deep Tissue Certification and the non-surgical certification. So we only have a few more spaces left. So if you've been on the fence about it, or you don't know about it, or if you know somebody in that part of the world, or you might just want to go to Australia and take our courses, check it out at itioh.com, okay? And then we're also going to be doing courses May the 5th to May the 25th here in beautiful Kelowna, British Columbia. We're going to be teaching the Whole Life Coach certification, Wolfe Deep Tissue certification, and Wolfe Non-Surgical certification. So, like I said, go to itioh to check that out, okay? On today's show, we're going to be discussing the 5 top tips to prevent a hangover, okay? And the next Braveheart Nation live Q&A, which will be the last show of this year before we get into 2019, okay, is called How to Survive Christmas and New Year's. I think that's appropriate, don't you? For a lot of people just trying to survive it emotionally sometimes. And the next Pet Star will be on Wednesday, December the 12th at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. And that show is called How to Keep Your Pets Safe During the Holidays. Okay? And just so you know, you can still get the Daily Cleansing Tea 2 weeks. If you'd like to try it out, see what you think. It helps to lose weight, detoxify, and increase energy by detoxifying gently every day all your cleansing organs. You can get that free if you call the office. You only have to pay for the shipping. Also, if you'd like to get my book, Healthy to 100, we'll send that out to you free too. You just have to pay the shipping. And everybody, up until the new year, you'll be able to get the Braveheart online training for only $97, and you can invite a Braveheart buddy. So that's only what? 75% off, okay? So you might want to think about that. A new year, a new you, eh? Okay, and about other shows that we have coming up, or if you've missed a show, you can go to docofdetoxshow.com. All right, so today we're going to be talking about how to prevent hangovers, because now why would we want to prevent a hangover? Well, first of all, when you have a hangover, you've just poisoned your body. That's right. A hangover means that you've brought in enough toxic material to actually send your brain, your heart, and your other organs into crisis. When you create a hangover, especially from alcohol, we know that you've taken in enough sugar to help to blow up and create, ready for this, cancer cells. Ready for this, to cause enough inflammation that you're causing caramelization of your tissues. You're causing scar tissue formation. Why do you think everybody walks around stiff the next day and exhausted? Because the sugar has eaten up all the minerals, all the nutrients, all the oxygen, and it's depleted you of your vitality. Because sugar, as they say, sugar will work on the body and do the same thing or even be as bad as heroin. You heard what I said. And it's just as addictive as smoking. And it's just as bad as smoking. So the reality is, we're in a society that we actually believe, okay, we believe that drinking alcohol is normal. I mean, you know, look at how many people actually will drink wine every day, okay? And why? Because, I'll tell you why. Because I need to relax. I need to unwind. Well, it's basically because they don't have control of their emotions yet. They haven't mastered their emotions. Or they're in a relationship that they need to have a drink because they can hardly be with that person. Who really knows? But the reality is, you got to check in with yourself and ask yourself why you need to drink. I mean, I used to drink. I think everybody drank because everybody drinks. The majority drinks alcohol. But we also know that it's very unhealthy for the human body. Even because everybody does it doesn't make it right, does it? Okay? And the thing is wouldn't it be great if you could have just as much fun and have more energy and you could let yourself be who you truly are instead of feeling like you have to drink to get your nerve to become that outgoing person or that fun person. Hey, Clayton. How you doing?
Wonderful.
So what do you think, Clayton?
Well, you've certainly opened up potential discussion for a lot of people out there who take on alcohol, like you say, for the holidays. So,
Why do you think people drink more alcohol in the holidays? Because they want more fun?
uh, uh, probably it's to get into into the perceived uh, mood or uh, perceived joy. That they need alcohol in order to relax.
Perceived joy, or they need the sugar to create enough energy so that they can be fun to be with because they're so burnt out because of their diet or not drinking enough water, right? Structured water,
Right.
right?
Yes. Right.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think so. I think so. And the big thing is that, we'll rely on sugar and we'll rely on sugar to give us that energy because we don't drink enough water. You know what? I don't think people really realize how much energy comes from deep breathing and drinking structured water. What do you think, Clayton?
Yes. That is if everybody started their day drinking a substantial amount of water and breathing, they would see a significant difference in their energy through the day.
And we're talking about a quart of structured water to start your day off with. I'm not kidding. Everybody out there that says you do an 8-ounce glass, that's not even cutting it. Before you do anything else, you want to try to get a quart, that's 32 ounces of water into you. Find out how your bowels start to move, how much it clears your head out, how it really starts to really get you going because water lubricates every muscle and every joint in the human body, and it does it instantaneously if it's structured water, doesn't it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So, we really need to take a look at that. And also, it's great if you also practice breathing through the other end of the structured water unit, the portable. Maybe you could grab that for me, Omi. But Clayton, tell people. Let's talk about a little bit about breathing before we go into the alcohol part of our conversation here for today. And
Yeah.
can you explain to people what happens, the difference between breathing through their nose and their mouth?
Well, of course, when you breathe through your mouth, you are taking on all the toxins that are in the air. So, when you breathe through your nose is actually structuring the air you breathe. So your left nostril spins the air to the right, your right nostril spins the air to the left, and thereby, when you breathe through your nose, you are structuring the air. And when you structure the air, all the toxins, hydrocarbons, bacteria, viruses, molds, all those things that are in the air can no longer harm you.
Even if you still smell the stink from the mold or you
Right.
smell whatever it is, the bad bacteria,
Right.
they're still not going to harm you. That's the same way that our structured water works.
Exactly.
You
Same
might,
way. Identical.
yeah. So you might still have a little bit of that chlorine taste, or you still might have that flavor. But the thing is understand something. What people don't get is this. And let me see here. We are um, we are cosmic biomachines. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, what I mean is that, like I said before, if you were to take all the empty space out of all the particles that we're made out of 7 billion, billion, billion particles, and you take that empty space out of all the particles that we're made out of, guess what? And you did that to the whole planet, we'd all fit in one sugar cube. Are you getting this? So understand something. That whole physical thing that you're looking at, that my body right now that you're looking at, that's the illusion that you think that this thing is solid. It's not. And the particles aren't even touching. They're vibrating just close to each other. We are cosmic biomachines. And everything that we do, it relies on frequency. That's why if you wrap your head around this whole frequency thing with breathing structured air, breathe and drinking structured water, and structuring your food, to create a higher frequency, then you'll understand that you're going to feed this cosmic biomachine properly, and you're going to have that energy that you really, really want.
That's right on. That's
Yes,
it. That's the answer.
that is the
You know,
answer. And you
right.
guys out there in YouTube, Facebook world, you better grasp onto this thing, because your world right now wants to dumb you down and make you think that the physical part of you is the most important part. Well, it's not. Because as Clayton taught me many years ago, that everything we drink and everything we eat leaves the body. That means that not one supplement, not one vitamin, not one mineral stays in your body. The only thing that's left behind is the frequency. And that's because you're a frequency being. You're not even 1% physical. You are way less than that. So everything is frequency. So if you could bring up your frequency, then you wouldn't need the alcohol, would you? Because that alcohol is used to jack your personality up, jack your energy levels up, because, hey, I'm no fun to be with unless I drink. You know, I can remember when I was younger. What about you, Clayton? When you were younger, did you take a few shots for confidence?
Occasionally, yes.
Huh?
Yes. Occasionally, yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Were you a good dancer?
I was.
I
Yes, I
bet you
was.
after a few shots, you thought you were the greatest dancer, didn't you?
Right.
Huh?
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
you know what they used to call me, Clayton? Disco
What?
Darrell. And that's the truth. Disco Darrell. Anyways, where are we going with this? I don't really know. But we do want to get our dance on during Christmas, don't we?
Yes, we do.
We want to
Right.
smile, we want to laugh, we want to dance, we want music. But you know what? I think we're going to talk about this whole alcohol thing, but the thing is that if you could go inside yourself, and if you don't take anything personal and you don't care what people think, why don't you just love yourself unconditionally and just have a really good time with yourself? That would be the thing. But Clayton, why don't you start it off and tell everybody what they need to do to start protecting themselves if they decide to drink, or if they decide to drink too much? Because you know what? If you drink now, Christmas time, you drink way too much. You know, I love the part where, don't you love the part, Clayton, that by the time that the 14th of January comes, that 3/4 of the population has a cold or flu. They've got mucus coming out of every hole of their body because they're so infected with inflammation from all the Christmas food and from the Christmas drink and from the Christmas emotions that they couldn't process. What do you think?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Right.
so that's why you
Right.
guys are going to be a bunch of snot balls, and you're going to need to buy lots of Kleenex, okay? Lots of Kleenex, because you're gonna need to get rid of that stuff. But why don't you kick it off, and we'll start talking about how people can help to, even when it comes to baked goods, when it comes to anything they eat, anything they drink. Let's see if we can help them out and have a more smoother ride through this, okay?
Yes, and maybe we should start this. If you don't have structured water, if
Oops.
you yeah, well, that is an oops. But again, for those people who are going to take on the holiday and survive it without ending up with a flu or a cold or a hangover, it is to drink an appropriate amount of water, to eat balanced, have a balanced diet, balanced food, with nutrients, uh, I'm reminded, by what Darrell represents is high quality minerals, high quality food, high quality, supplements, to aid people to find that balance within. So these are things that are absolutely essential for your general health and well-being. Other things would be um, that you are getting rest, but again, hydration, nutrition are absolutely essential. Uh, the aspect of alcohol, um, all these things still, if you are taking on alcohol and you do have access to structuring, if you structure your alcohol or you structure your drink, you will not get a hangover. Now, you'll get intoxicated, but you won't have that stressed feeling the next day. And you and the other things is, all other things that come from the environment. When you're with family, for instance, you're drinking. Again, if you don't have um, proper structuring of your food and drink, then you're taking on um, the
The toxic emotional effects of
yes,
other people, because
right,
we're
eh,
walking bags of water,
eh,
everybody. You're 70% water, and if it's structured water, wouldn't it help to structure you?
right.
Yeah.
The other things are not only the emotional aspect, but it is the bacteria aspect, the aspect of colds, flus, and all the other things that people, when you come together in a close community, you want everybody to be healthy for you to be healthy. And structured water aids in that, structured air aids in that significantly. Um, but again, if you did structure everything in your environment, the aspects of being emotionally healthy, because what does structured water do? Structured water and structured air brings your emotional body to 0 point, to a perfect state of being.
Yeah, you could
It's
even use structured water to structure the doorknobs. I mean, I
right,
know there's people are going,
right,
yeah, what is he talking about? Well, you know what? Let's not be, we're not going to be overboard, but I'm just trying to show you that structured water is more powerful than any chemical that you think you're using to actually sterilize things. We don't want to sterilize things because we end up sterilizing ourselves, which is happening. We want to actually restructure things so that we're protected, right?
yes, yes,
Yeah.
and when you talk about the doorknob, or you talk about your computer or your cell phone, if you just take that portable that you have, turn it upside down and blow air on all the things that are close in that you handle every day, and other people are handling occasionally, you want to structure them, and you can simply blow air on them, and any toxins that might be lingering will no longer be effective.
And understand something. I know what some of you are doing right now. You're shaking your head and going, okay, up until this point, I could swallow it, but now these two guys are whack jobs. Well,
Yeah.
understand, we are whack jobs, okay? You
Right.
need to understand that. I know that. But the reality is this is the truth. But there's no money in this, right? People
Right.
aren't going to make money doing this. And
Right.
I already told you
That,
that we are cosmic bio machines, and everything is about frequency. And if you're not going to gravitate onto that, then I don't think you're going to make it through the Christmas or New Year's season without getting sick,
right.
because it's all about frequency, right, Clayton?
Yes, it is.
Yeah,
Absolutely. It's all
yeah,
about energy. Right.
yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, isn't it something though, Clayton, how people do not realize how amazing they are and the potential that they have? I mean,
Yeah.
they are mountains of potential, and they can't even see that. It's like nobody ever told them that there was a light switch, behind the curtain over there, right? So they were told
Okay.
never to go over that curtain because there's nothing there worthwhile.
Right. So here we are.
So here we are. So here we are, wanting everybody to understand that you are the most amazing thing that's ever been created in the universe. And if you can embrace this whole frequency thing, like Einstein stated that, you know, the future for everyone is going to be based on energy medicine, not on any other type of nutritional medicine. It will be energy medicine. It won't be
Right.
more physical. And the thing is I think where we really got lost, Clayton, what do you think? When medical doctors go to school, they work on cadavers, don't they? Otherwise dead people,
Right.
right?
Right.
And the thing is
Yeah.
is that we're not dead. We are
No.
vibrational beings. So when we look at our own bodies, all we do is look at this physical mass, and that's where I think we get sucker punched.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it goes another layer there. When the medical world is developing medication, they're they're taking it from life. They're taking it from flowers or trees or living organisms, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the one big thing they forget is the water. They forget the water that it and the energy of those plants. So they're looking at the physical world. And this is a big, big problem for humanity now, is everything has been based on the physical. You know, you brought it up very clearly. How much of you is truly physical? You know, but all of our medicine, all of our virtually everything out there is based on the physical and chemistry, the physical, the physical science.
Well, that's why life is eternal, Clayton, is because such very little of this is based on the physical. Like it's a percentage that you can hardly even measure. And it's scientific. So,
Right,
seeing that we are frequency beings, isn't that a great thing? Because now you know that you are eternal because energy never dies.
right, exactly,
Right.
exactly,
Yeah.
right, right. So then it is bringing your physiology, your emotional, physical uh, physiology into a balanced state. And a simple way to do that is drink structured water, breathe structured air whenever you can,
Yeah.
and thereby bring your emotional field. When your emotional field is balanced, no error can exist. No dis-ease can exist. No pain can exist.
So,
So,
how are they going to stop the pain of 6 to 12 beers? So, can you tell
well,
them what they need to do with their beer, what they need to do with their wine and their hard liquor, and yeah, let's try
okay.
that.
So beer is carbonated. What is carbon? Acid. It is harmful to us. So structuring neutralizes everything that is toxic. It neutralizes everything that's harmful. And since acid or carbonation is harmful, if you were to structure your beer through like running your beer through a portable, it would go flat because it's the carbonation that gives you that bubbly, uh, the bubbly effect.
Why does it go flat though?
Goes flat because again, carbon is poison.
Oh, it flattens it because it is poison, not because. Okay, all right. There,
Right.
that's a
It
beautiful thing.
flattens it eliminates the carbon because it is poison.
Okay, so
So
I don't
the
want my
answer
carbon eliminated.
the answer to drinking beer, structured beer, is to take. I always recommend that people take a little when they have a bottle of beer. They taste it. Okay, then they take a little of that beer and pour it through a portable. Now this is if they're going to use their portable to actually structure the beer. A lot of people don't. A lot of people just take a spray bottle filled with structured water and spray the top of the beer after you've poured it full. But if you do it if you do it the conventional way, it is to pour about a quarter of a cup of beer through your portable into the bottom of the glass, and then you pour the rest of the beer in, non-structured. If you don't drink that beer all the way down to the bottom, if you leave a small amount of beer after that in that glass, you could probably add beer, bottles of beer, all day, all week, all year. And that beer in that glass would be structured. It would
So,
never, it
so,
would never go away.
so just think, everyone, you could go from Christmas Day all the way through to New Year's with the same glass.
Right, exactly, with the same glass.
There you
Right.
go.
Yeah.
No, but you know what?
So,
All kidding
so,
aside, good.
so that's beer, and that would be Coca-Cola also. Because again, if you ran a Coca-Cola through, Coke is again has Coca-Cola has a carbon. Carbon is poison. To structuring, poison is against the law for human consumption. So it eliminates it.
So
So
here's,
if you
if I can say something. So everybody out there, especially you parents, you let it all go, don't you? You let it all go at Christmas time because I think we let it all go because we're not emotionally equipped to
Right.
even handle Christmas. But the thing is we let it all go, and then we let our kids have the pop, we let them have the sugar, and there's a lot of other stuff. What about even the eggnog? What would you do with the eggnog, Clayton?
It was same thing. You structure. I would when I drink eggnog and I add a in a festive time I add some whiskey or something to that eggnog, but I structure it so I don't get a hangover, so I don't get the off feeling. But I'll guarantee you this: if you're structuring your food, you're structuring the water you drink. Pretty much, I hear this. I've been hearing this now for years and years and years, but people lose the intensity of needing sugars. They no longer have a desire for sugars or chocolates, and basically it is because what you're saying those sugars are doing to your physiology. It's driving the majority of humanity into into an early
Grave.
right, exactly, demise, right.
You know what, though, Clayton? I'll tell you right now, the structured air and the structured water is bringing the vibration up high enough that the sugar can't grab it.
Right.
That's
There you
what it's
go.
doing. You know, like attracts like, your vibration's low. What are you going to do? You're going to reach for sugar, right? And then you're going to get that high. And then guess what? Your brain gets addicted to it because you go for the sugar. See, whether you want to believe this or not, actually drinking structured water, breathing structured air, okay, when you structure anything, okay, you're creating that energy that will actually help to release dopamine and serotonin. And so when you don't do this and your vibration's not high enough to create that, you're going to go for the sugar because the sugar is actually going to create a dopamine rush. So you use the sugar for the dopamine rush, but what the problem is that what you're paying to get that dopamine rush to feel good, it's destroying you. So there's a difference between structuring and sugar. They both start with S, but one's a mess.
Good analogy.
Yeah.
Right.
So what about wine?
Wine. So wine, the majority of wine uh, has a poison in it, which is sulfite. So sulfite, it's the sulfite is what makes people feel, let's say, um, have a headache.
Like they just ate a whole bunch of MSG.
Right. It
Yeah.
gives you a headache.
Yeah.
So there's a few places in the world where wine is grown that does not have sulfite, and I believe that's primarily in France. Certain soils allow for no sulfite.
What about
So
organic? Do they use it
it
even if it's organic?
doesn't matter,
Oh,
right?
wow. Really?
Right.
Okay. I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So the way that you deal with wine is is you don't want to change the wine uh, by adding a lot of water, but you could add a drop of water, or you can take again the spray and just spray the surface of the wine. You can also spray the exterior of the glass of the wine and change it that way. Uh, Probably one of the most profound experiences with wine is to take a small amount of wine, say 2 ounces, and put it in your portable, and or pour it through your portable, and add it back to a container, a full container of wine. Structuring wine, whether it's a drop of wine or the whole bottle, changes the sulfite to a sulfate. So it's no longer gives you a headache. You no longer have an irritation from drinking the wine. The wine actually, in most cases, tastes better. And one of the things, again, this is all about energy. So the more energy you add back to the wine, that would be multiply structuring it or taking that 2 ounces and structuring it again and again and again and again. Every time you structure it, you're going to increase the energy in the wine. And it's just going to taste better and better and better. It's the same thing with water. It gets better and better and better. You know, there was a time back in my early years when I thought you could structure water and reach a maximum. You could only structure so far. Today I don't know what that amount is, because every time that I say something, somebody proves me that it can be structured more and more and more. So I don't know what the maximum is.
Maybe there is no maximum.
Right. Maybe there is no maximum.
Maybe there's only a maximum when you think there's a maximum. What do you think
Yeah.
of that?
Yeah, that's possible.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, but what we see with this is the maximum is what your body can tolerate. Let's
Yes,
say.
I agree.
You know, if you go beyond that, you're pressing you're pressing into an unknown. So.
You know, when I was, this was quite a few years ago, a lot of years ago actually, but we used to buy organic wine, and I could remember, and that's why I asked you, because it used to take my face off, even sometimes worse than the so-called non-organic, so I couldn't figure it out. And it was the sulfites.
Right, sulfites, right.
Wow.
Right.
So that means basically there's no way around it. You've got to structure. You've got to structure your wine,
right.
Even if you're no matter how much money you're spending, eh?
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Right. Yes, and you know, because you pay $100 for a bottle of wine doesn't mean that it's any better.
No, you're still going to get a $1.50 hangover, eh? Clayton, you'll still get a $1.50 hangover.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah. So again, structuring makes everything brings it into a healthy state. You know, a lot of people. You know, the other thing that structuring adds is it adds oxygen to the wine, to the beer, to the water, and that oxygen is absolutely essential for your health perspective. So it's oxygen in your body that eliminates, or let's say neutralizes, bacteria, viruses, molds, pathogens, and cancer.
Yeah, because it's all vibrational. They call that epigenetics. You know, there's epigenetic switches.
Right.
Cancer can be switched on or switched off, and you know, Dr. Otto Warburg said, go without oxygen, or have it depleted to a certain degree. You know, by 33%, long enough, and you're going to have a cancer cell. There's no way around it. So right off the bat, we know that if we structure, we're going to add so much more free oxygen into our cells. So yeah, that's great.
So that oxygen makes things feel better, taste better, you know, and why? Because your brain is telling you, I want more, you know, more oxygen. Your brain is probably the biggest consumer of oxygen in your whole physical body.
Well, your brain is the first thing that gets dehydrated too. And when you drink, dehydration is so huge. So if you are drinking out there, if you were to do an 8-ounce glass of structured water in between every drink, look, I know, you know, until you've had about 3 or 4, then you'll just forget you're even drunk. But until then, if you could do like 8 ounces of structured water in between every drink, you know, you're still going to get the same buzz, eh, Clayton?
Yes, absolutely.
But
you actually a better buzz.
Yeah, that's right. And you know, I'm all into the buzz. You know what? I'd love. Look, I'm gonna be honest with everyone. I love a good buzz. You know what I mean? But I'm not gonna. I don't want to pay for it. I don't want to pay twice. So
right.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, Yeah, so I would definitely be drinking a glass of water, structured water in between every alcohol drink. And if you can remember to do that, and if you can remember to also drink water prior to starting to drink, Clayton, really,
Yes,
really, really
right.
hydrate and drink about a quart of water before you go out drinking.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And I'd recommend adding some mineral supplements so that your body is in a balanced mineral state.
Well, you know what? We have our concentrated fulvic, and if you add our concentrated fulvic to your drinking water,
There you
there's
go.
no way you're going to get it. You're no way that you're going to cause any toxicity, because
Right.
our concentrated fulvic liquid that you could put right in your drinking water, it'll hold 4 times its weight in toxic waste. So it's going to go in, drop the minerals off, 60 to 70 of them, and then it's going to pick all that toxic waste up so that it doesn't tear you apart.
There you go.
Yeah.
So we are giving everybody solutions, amazing solutions to the Christmas, to the, let's say, to the holidays. This is a time to stock up on those things that will make you a better person, and more, let's say, and more fun throughout the
Yeah.
holiday.
So, if you're going to do it, you might as well love your way through it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, what about alcohol? How would they treat it? Same way as the wine, or?
Yeah, well, just pure alcohol, you can you structure you structure it by spraying the bottle, spraying the top of the drink, because that what that does is it neutralizes all the toxins in the alcohol.
Clayton, when
So
I used to drink, and not saying that I don't anymore, a couple times a year, when I'm with my kids, you know,
yeah, yeah,
I'll do 2 or 3 shots of tequila. So let's say I
yeah.
take my tequila and I run it through my structure unit. Um, that just might bring down the bite, but it won't bring down the buzz. Am I right?
Right,
Okay.
right,
All right.
right,
Because
right. It brings
sometimes
down.
it burns going down, and sometimes my tummy doesn't really care for it too much.
Right.
Yeah.
No.
But it should bring down the burn even for the tummy too, right?
Right. Well,
Okay.
what it does is what it does is it primarily eliminates the toxicity or the toxins. And here we go. Uh, the same way with processed food, virtually everything that's processed is handled by people and or machines, and everything is imparting energy. And alcohol, just like water, picks up that energy. And so when you go to drink it, you are, in a sense, adding to your physical. Your body has to deal with that energy because, again, you're an energy being. So all the energy that comes into your body, good or bad, your body has to deal with it. When you start feeling bad and you've been drinking, your body is telling you something. There's something wrong. Something that you're doing is not right. And pretty much, I would say, the majority of people have have received the message that this is wrong, or this is not, is the outcome the next day is not going to be good, or even the day that you're doing this.
Yeah.
So it's finding that balance, and to find that balance, again, drink water, eat food, be be more balanced, find your balance.
So let me ask
And
you a question. Why do you think, Clayton, that people will participate in abusive entertainment then? Because we are destroying our bodies. When we go past that line, we are actually putting our bodies into a crisis state where actually we could die from alcohol poisoning. That's what they call it. And
exactly.
most people, when they drink, they go past that line, don't they? I mean,
Yes,
if you've got a hangover, then you have alcohol poisoning. And just because
right.
everybody gets a hangover, because most people do, just because everybody does it, we think it's normal. So I want to ask you why would, if we loved ourselves and we want to respect and honor this body, why do people do that?
Because they don't know.
What don't they know?
They've never been given the information we're giving them right now.
There you go.
They don't know.
That's
They
right.
don't know any better.
That's right.
And and they're and the majority of humanity is going on the way it was
That's right.
or the way it used to be. They're not looking at uh, they're not looking at the things that are truth. They're not looking at the harm that they are bringing onto themselves.
Yeah, you can't do better until you know better. So I want nobody to ever bear any guilt. But the
Right,
reality is it's still harsh on your body. And the thing is that if you're an adult and you've got children, these
right,
children are looking at this as a normal way of life, right?
exactly,
So
exactly,
where does it
exactly.
end?
There's no education to tell them different.
To love, honor, and respect our bodies, we're not taught that.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
So,
So the other thing too is that let's say that you get drinking and or the next day you feel really nauseated. What you should do is take, and don't take a lot. Let's say if you weigh like 120 pounds, you're a woman, just do like maybe about a half a teaspoon of baking soda and put it into a glass of structured water, 8 ounces, and drink it. And I promise you, your tummy will calm down. And if you've got a headache or if you feel tight in your muscles or really like pressure, this is going to buffer it down and alkaline you. And if you're a man of 150, 60, 70, 80 pounds, then do a teaspoon in an 8 ounce glass of water. And that'll calm everything down. It'll make you feel better because you've got to buffer that acid because, it's just it's like battery acid, and that will actually just eat away your tissues. Hey, Clayton,
yeah, absolutely.
this stuff is
Right,
bad, bad. So
right,
if you get to the point that you feel the next day that you've poisoned yourself, then do the baking soda. But I will also tell you this: we have a product, Clayton, that's called Jet Lag Fuel, and it's actually a fulvic product, and it's got frequencies in it, and you can actually drink this, and it will neutralize the effects of a hangover, and it will also neutralize the effects of a jet lag.
wow,
Yeah, yeah,
wow.
yeah,
Well, structuring does the same thing, and so what we're talking about here, I don't know the product, but what we're talking about here is we're talking about natural products.
yeah.
Things of nature will do this. You know, the truth of nature is when you're eating a balanced diet, uh, you're going to transcend a whole lot of this stuff that would come at you from doing it wrong, from eating wrong, drinking wrong, etc. So,
Yeah, and we structure all our humic fulvic products, Clayton, all of them.
good,
Oh yeah, it makes all the difference. It
right,
all because we want that stuff to cross the blood-brain barrier, right? Go right into the
right,
cells, and there's no faster way. It's just like, boom. We're
right,
talking about
right,
fast, lightning speed.
right,
Yeah.
exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's and going back to alcohol, structuring alcohol, it does provide lightning. Well, alcohol by itself is instantaneous access to your cellular level. So so I'm going to throw this one out to you all that are listening to this. If you don't structure it, then all the toxins that are in that alcohol you're drinking are made available instantaneously to your cells. because the alcohol is dragging all that energy, adversarial energy that's in it, directly into your cells. There's no barrier. There's nothing to stop it. It's the alcohol for the majority of people in this day and age that are troubled with heavy metals, for instance. When you're troubled with heavy metals, it is that alcohol, what alcohol does is it goes across the barrier that your body has for digestion, to digest the water, to digest the food, to bring the water you drink up to a level that's instant hydration. Alcohol is instant hydration. One drop of alcohol to a gallon of water. That water instantly goes through your cellular level, to your cellular level, regardless of how many toxins are in it. So
there's absolutely no defense system. So
no
there's
defense.
no slowing things down so the body can prepare. There's no slowing things down to have the sugar come in at the right speed so that the cells and the blood system can handle it. So it
Right.
comes in and it's like you walk into the ring and then boom, you get the 1-2 punch and you're down on the floor. Because
Exactly.
it comes in way too fast. There's no warning for your cells or your bloodstream to be able to actually process it properly.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the other thing is with alcohol, because most people don't realize that it's only one cell thick in your intestinal system with a barrier of one cell. And now it can repair itself every 3 or 4 days. But if you drink alcohol on a continual basis, you'll get to a point where that cell membrane that's only one cell thick that actually prevents the toxins from coming in the digestive tract and allowing the nutrients to come in, those junctions, they pull apart and tear apart, and then they never heal again. And that's what happens when you do too much sugar or too much alcohol. So if you're not going to quit and you're going to do your alcohol, and we're not promoting alcoholism, what we're promoting is that if you're going to drink alcohol, structure it so that it doesn't burn out that one layer of cells in your digestive tract. Because not only are you taking the sugar in too fast, but also what happens is now that barrier that you had against toxins, whether it be parasitical, heavy metal, GMO, any type of chemical, is not going to be blocked, and it's going to go directly into your system.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. It is, and again, this is education. There's no book out there that's going to tell you this. Why? Because it's just not going to happen. Where you're going to have to get this information is through shows like this, where we're giving you let's say the pieces to the puzzle to take you into an inordinately longer life with grace, ease, and joy.
Yeah. It's always when we overdo things, eh?
Right. Yep.
I can remember the first time that I really drank, and I think I was around 17, and I bought it was called a Mickey back then. I don't know how much that holds. I think it might hold 12 ounces, yeah. And it was Captain Morgan. I guzzled that in 2 drinks, Clayton. And we were sleeping in a barn, and we went outside, and we rolled a Macon, because this was in Nova Scotia, and where you roll your own cigarettes. And I was so drunk, right, that I actually had 2 of them rolled, and I was like smoking both of them. And then everybody got up and went back to the barn. I couldn't even stand up. I had to crawl back. But anyways, I won't tell you the rest of the story, but yeah. You can pretty well figure it out. But the next day, I had a hangover like, wow, I didn't know what was going to happen. I thought my head was going to split in half. Luckily, there was this stream, and the water was so cold. And I just laid in there probably for half an hour, and that really helped to bring it down. So that's another thing, if you've got a hangover, it's not a hot shower you want, it's a cold one. Start with your feet and work your way up. But if you can stay in that shower for 5 minutes and it's running on your head, come up gentle and work your way up. And then run it on your head and the back of your neck. And if you can stay in there for about 5 minutes, as cold as you can take it, you're going to flush that hangover out, okay? The heat's not going to be great for you. But anyways, that's another little thing you might want to know. And also, if anybody has any questions, they can call 888-570-9445 because our phone lines are open. But I'm sure that there's probably not a lot of people watching this show because we're getting close to Christmas and everybody's running around now trying to get to the liquor store.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, but a lot of people will come on to this show. I get a lot of people saying they're listening to these programs religiously now, more and more, because of the information. It's profound. So.
Well, yeah, and they will believe it's profound, but just like me, everybody else is probably similar. I mean, the first time I heard you speak, Clayton, I thought you should be,
locked up.
but gently locked up because, you
Right.
seemed like a nice guy. You just were a little bit crazy.
Right.
But I want everybody to know out there too that if you're in our email list, we will be doing a special offer for people who are interested in the whole structuring thing. So we're going to be doing a special offer here, I think in about a week. So if you're not in my email list, make sure you get in my email list. And you can do that by going onto my website, and then you can log in and it says if you want to go and get information from Doc of Detox Library, you put your email in there. And if you do, then we'll let you know what that special offer is. But I will tell you, it's something that is so simple as this, okay? This is a structure unit if it's the first time watching. The alcohol or the water or the milk or the pop or whatever liquid, you want will go through here and then come through here. And the water from your tap, as fast as it comes out of the tap, it comes out this end. That's how much water you can make structured water. And, people think I'm crazy. And, they go, oh, you know what? You're such a professional at everything. But you know what? I don't understand you. What's your problem? You know so much, but then you'll just put this under any tap around the world and drink the water? Yeah, I will. You know why? Because it's nature made. You look at nature and why are the crops, the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees still growing at the same rate that they were 500 years ago? And meanwhile, we've got all the chemicals and pollutants in the rain, but everything's still chugging along just fine. Well, it's the same thing. No harm comes to living organisms when they're structuring and thank God for the God that created the universe. He knew that we were going to be dumb enough to poison everything. So now we've got the rain that's structured, or fast moving rivers or waterfalls that structure, that protect us and are giving us a little bit more time to get our act together. Hopefully we do. So this is the same thing with this. I have people that will structure their olive oil, coconut oil. They just have to put a little bit through, or they'll even structure, most shampoos are toxic, and they'll put a little bit of their shampoo through here. You don't need much, do you, Clayton?
No, you don't.
Put it back into the bottle, and you've got structured shampoo. Now, guess what? You use your shampoo, you only need a very little bit because now it has no surface tension, so it'll do the job 5 to 10 times better,
Right.
and you're protected from it.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So
there you go.
So you staying home for Christmas, Clayton?
Christmas?
Yeah, you staying home?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably stay home. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I don't have much family left and the ones that are left, I don't know. So they know where I am. They can come and visit anytime. Yeah.
And you know what? He actually means that. So if you're around Clayton, where he lives, which is near Sedona, right, buddy?
Yes, I am.
Yeah.
I'm about 15 miles, 20 miles out of Sedona.
There you go.
And
You can visit Clayton or you can visit me, and we mean that, don't we?
absolutely,
Yeah.
absolutely. In fact, I got a guy coming here wants to talk tonight yet. So yeah. My doors are open. Come on down.
That's
And
right.
and if you want to talk to me straight away, you can call me. Should I give him my phone number?
Well,
Okay with you?
yeah, because it's going to take him a while to guess it, because I probably had 2 or 3 drinks already.
Yeah, it's 970-946-5804. And you want to email me, just email Clayton Nolte, Clayton, Clayton, Nolte, Nolte, @gmail.com. So ask me a question.
Yeah, and
Or-
give him a
or-
call.
Give me a call. Yeah.
You know, and you know what? Challenge Clayton. You don't mind being challenged, do you, Clayton?
No, I love it. I love it. I love the skeptics too, because they turn out to be the most dedicated, profound, you know, carriers of the word.
That's right. That's right. We love people who love to challenge us. And you know what? Don't be afraid. You have the right to ask any question you want, okay?
Right.
And you have to challenge authority, right, Clayton?
Absolutely.
It's
Absolutely.
authority you got to watch out for.
Right.
Okay, we got a caller. Go ahead, caller. Hello? Nope, we don't. Omi?
Yeah, we do. I guess they just can't hear us.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, maybe they'll call back.
Oh, here's another call.
Oh, here's another caller.
And if you want to talk to me,
Hello, caller. Can you turn off your speaker?
Hello.
Hi. Can you turn off your Facebook or YouTube?
Hello.
Hi. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Can you please turn off your audio? Great. Are you there?
Yes.
Okay. You know your audio where you can hear us talking to you. Will you turn it off your computer?
Sure. I sure will. Hold on.
Oh, thank you, love.
Turned off.
There you go.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Merry Christmas.
Yeah. This is Merry Christmas. I have a question. I grew up with, whenever I had a fever, they gave me alcohol rubs, and I still know people that do that. So how does that affect you? Could you structure that alcohol? I mean,
Yeah, I would structure.
external alcohol.
Go ahead, Clayton. You go first.
well, you would ask why alcohol? Because again, alcohol is an instantaneous, say, mover through the cell wall. Basically, it has its viscosity, or its ability to enter into your cells, is instantaneous. There's no barrier to it, and so
Even if it's
that's
on in the skin?
yeah, your skin, right. So
Yes.
if you put alcohol on your skin, it's a lot of the alcohol evaporates, but a lot of it also goes directly into your skin. So
Oh, wow.
so if you structure it, then as it goes into your skin, it's in a healthy state, which means that everywhere that it does go internally into your skin and into your systems, it cannot harm. It can only bring relief, if that's what it's there for, or being utilized for.
Thank you. Another question, can you structure apple cider vinegar?
Yes, absolutely. There's nothing that you can't structure. Everything that you would structure, everything that you would structure will be it will be more complete. It will be able to do the job that it was designed for better than it could unstructured. Because again,
One more question.
go ahead.
One more question. I do a lot of homeopathic remedies. I make them,
Yes.
special formulas, and I just thought about it. All of them have alcohol to preserve it, so
Sure.
they need to be structured, right?
Yes.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, yeah. It'll change the.
Oh,
it'll
my
bring
goodness.
the frequency way up.
Right.
Fascinating. Thank you.
You're welcome.
And you know what? And they used to use alcohol to increase the metabolism. That's why they put it on the skin. And that's why what we do is we structure all the essential oils that we make so that, you know, you're getting the same effect as the alcohol, but you're getting a way higher frequency than the alcohol when you start using, because the alcohol does come from plant life. But the thing is that if you use essential oils that are structured, you keep the vibration even up much higher.
Oh, wow. Thank you.
You're welcome, and
Thank you.
Thank you for being our Christmas caller.
Oh, this is Nancy. You know me. I'm listening to everything.
Hey, Nancy. How are you, sweetie?
I'm wonderful.
I know you are.
The structured water has changed my life.
How?
I had congestive heart failure. I had 25 ejection fraction, and this was 3 months ago. They told me you're gonna die, but you know, doctors don't know, and so they wanted me to take all these diuretics. I was on diuretics for 15 years, 120 milligrams of Lasix, and I started the structured water, and I couldn't drink water because my heart couldn't handle the water, and so they told me don't drink any water. Your body can't handle it. I started the structured water, and I can drink a gallon a day. I don't bloat. My heart handles it great. I lost all my cravings for anything that Coke, which is what I drank most of the time, and it's changed my life. Not only that, I don't need the diuretics. I was on 120 milligrams. I was on an ACE inhibitor for 15 years. I don't have to take it anymore. It's amazing. I mean, it really has. I also take a lot of your products, but the structured water was my first thing, and it changed me.
Well, that's...
So I just want to say that it's been the biggest blessing, and it's only been 2 months, 3 months. So that is just amazing.
Well, I think
I am
Clayton's
extremely
the
content.
Clayton's the biggest
Yes.
blessing, and from that we get the structure water, don't we?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, of course. The Braveheart way is that's incredible. That's amazing.
You're enjoying the online emotional training?
Oh my goodness! I wear my band all the time. In the beginning, I broke about 3 of them. It was constant, just checking my thoughts and my actions. It's just and the breathing. Oh, no, you guys really changed my life. So thank you.
Well, I'll just tell you something right now, sweetheart. You just made my day. I don't know. How do you feel, Clayton?
And
what do you
you
think?
you made my day too.
Yeah. Because you know what, sweetie? Clayton and I think I can
Right.
speak for Clayton, is that we now are here to serve and to love, and that's it. So
Yes.
we did our job, Clayton. Okay?
Yes, we did.
We did our
Yes.
job.
Right.
Yes, you
And-
did. Yes, you did.
And if we can
See you in St. Petersburg.
if we can occasionally hear from a beautiful lady like this, that's most magnificent. Awesome. So thank you.
I knew there had to be a better way, and anything I tried, I spent so much thousands of vitamins and made my own homeopathic remedies. I'm a naturopath and a homeopath, and all this stuff wasn't helping me. I could help everybody else, and I mean, and I said there has to be a better way. And I started studying epigenetics, and from there I discovered Dr. Wolfe, and then discovered you, and the AMCOIL, and the Biotron Light. And it's, I am just in heaven. This is great. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you, sweetie.
Thank you.
Have a wonderful Christmas.
You too, and a happy New Year.
Yes.
Yes. Well, I'll keep listening to you whenever you come on.
Thank you.
I'm following you guys. Blessings. Bye-bye.
You too, love. Blessings. So, if I can say something, you know, when doctors actually say to us, you know, the age that you are, the condition that you're in, this is what's going to happen to you, understand something. That's like saying that the average temperature, okay, in Orlando, Florida is 75 degrees. Yeah, but you're not telling me the temperature today at this very moment. So understand something. Nobody's average out there. And as soon as you decide not to follow the majority, listen, I don't believe it. I did an interview on someone who wanted to come and work for us today. And I just said, if you're coming here to, because she asked me a couple questions, and I said, nothing that I do has anything to do with the majority of the population. I have nothing to do with the majority. I never will, because look at the majority. They're in trouble. So understand something. When you hear a statistic from a doctor and he says, because of this, you're only going to live this long. Because of this, you da-da-da-da-da-da-da. They don't even know what they're talking about. Soon as you decide to honor, respect, protect, and love yourself, the whole game is off. They don't even know what they're talking about. Okay? Because doctors, like I said, they study cadavers, okay? And they study disease. I study life and I study frequency, and they don't even know what the heck that even means. So understand something. So if you want to continue to be like the majority, then the doctor's right. So maybe you might fall into his statistics, but as soon as you decide to be the minority and find your true self, then guess what? It's game on. We have a caller. Go ahead, caller.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Dr. Wolfe. This is Natalia from Fort St. John. It's so nice to hear your voice again.
Hi. How are you? Your parents were here today.
Yes, they were. She said it was so good. They really enjoyed their time there. I just got in my email a note that you have a live call, a live show right now. I was so excited. But thank you so much for holding all this to educate all of us out here and the public that really have no idea where to turn with everything that's available out right now.
Well, Clayton taught me, so now I'll teach you. So, you know, see how we pass it on? Then you're going to learn, and you're going to pass this on to your family and your friends. And then guess what? We become a Braveheart nation because we're a family, right?
Oh, yes, I'm so excited that I wanted to order your structured water unit right away as soon as I saw it. But I was like, oh man, we're going to go up there anyway, and I'm sure my husband's going to want to hear about it and get it at the same time. So I Googled online, make structured water for free, So I went and got marbles, and I tried to do it myself. The water tasted even more disgusting than it was. Our water actually tastes good. We have actually spring water, and it's fed directly into our tap. And I was like, here, honey, try this. I gave him our tap water and the water that I pretended I structured with the marbles. And he's like, what is that? It tastes fake. I'm like, oh, no.
Oh, wow. We all lose our marbles.
I didn't think it would be the same because you mentioned there's some kind of crystals or something in the product that you guys offer. And I think that's really interesting.
Well, yes,
Hello?
There's crystals in it, but it's not just that. It's the way that Clayton actually designed this, Clayton?
Yes.
Yes.
It's not just the let's say the physical. It has
Yes.
it has a lot of let's say uh, energy, the energies of of awakening the human element, the human physiology, and
Yes. And
and a lot of those things are not um, let's say not uh, well, even to speak them out, it's combinations. It's kind of like chemistry in a way, but it's the chemistry of energy, and which is something that you can't physically touch. You can feel, and that's what structured water. Structured water is an energy form. The primary mover of the energy within structured water is something that has virtually escaped uh, science because they can't see it and they can't measure it. So uh, I'm going to say this uh, because virtually all of life is reverent. Basically, it is of God. And to put that into a physical form is is pretty magical. And I think that uh, the majority of people that are experiencing structured water, structured air, and structured sound, wherever we go with this, the majority of people that are experiencing this, uh, they know that there's something here, something more. I mean, if you can visualize water coming from a tap, going through that a simple portable, simple device, and what it does to the human physiology is most profound. And science is struggling to um, to define it. I
Well,
don't
just
think.
like just like science is trying to define consciousness, but they can't even find where it is. I mean, because I think consciousness is in every cell of our body, and I don't think people really think that. They think only the mind can be conscious, but it isn't. And then where really is it? I think some of the most powerful things in life are the most confusing, and they're also invisible. The most powerful part of everything about life is invisible. It's not the physical. It's not what you see.
So, so this is a technology basically that you can hold in your hand. You can take it anywhere in the world and change your environment. And I'm going to say this, it is a technology. It is, and it's awesome. It's profound. And the advancement of this into society. Uh, One of the things I think that Dr. Wolfe and I are promoting here is that yes, the technologies that are available are absolutely profound, but there takes one more component. That component is you uh, picking it up, taking it in, and and enjoying the fruit that it brings to your longevity, to you. It's being part of the solution, and I think that's where humanity is today. Is technology can only bring you so far. You have to take part. You have to be part of the solution. And
Thank
So
you so much. I really appreciate it. I'm so grateful that God gave you the wisdom to conceive this and to bring it to the world and to bring it to all of us out here. And I'm really excited as to, to see how it'll work. I'm hoping to like get it everywhere. I have a big greenhouse and big house. Right. And I'd really like to see the difference in my greenhouse. And I've just been reading so much. It's like my head is already kind of spinning. I read lots of stuff on your site and watched the videos, and I'm so grateful for both you and Dr. Wolfe that you've come together and you educate people like me who didn't know anything. That I should have paid attention to my grandpa because he sure knew a lot. It's just now, years later, I remember how he would mention, things and herbicides and pesticides and all this kind of stuff that I didn't pay attention to. I mean, I was 16. What did I need to know about pesticides for? But he was really amazing, and he talked a lot about pretty much Dr. Wolfe, like you say, the Braveheart way, or taking things in, negative things. Like whenever my grandfather would get a compliment, he would slightly bow and he'd put his hand on his heart. And I just thought, well, that's like, it's sweet. But anyway, until I had a experience. Well, I was in an accident in the winter, and I was like always afraid to drive in the winter or have somebody else drive. And then I saw a TED talk about a lady who said she had like depression, and then she, to turn her life around, she decided she was going to, if somebody was going to give her a compliment, she would reach her hand out, and as if the compliment went physically on her hand, and she would put it in her heart. And I thought, wow, that's so interesting. Reminds me of Grandpa. And I thought, well, I'll do that. And she mentioned this one time she gave a lady a compliment, and she looked at her hand and she flicked her finger like it was a booger. And she's like, as if she flicked the compliment away. So when we were driving with my husband and it was snowing and I was scared, and every time I started getting scared, I would blow and like swat at the fear that was coming at me instead of putting it in my heart. It was amazing what it did to me just by doing that like I was actually happy. I didn't cry on the way home. I cried on the way to my brother's house because I was so scared. But on the way back, I was happy. I was doing this, and my husband just laughed at me. Like, you're so funny, but it seems like that's even structured water or anything we do that brings those good vibrations within us. I think it's just so amazing, and I'm so grateful for people like you who educate me personally. I'm so grateful.
Well, thank you. But you know what Clayton really tries to teach, and I hope that I'm doing the same thing, that it's okay to love yourself enough to do all these really great things for yourself. And it's okay to be a high frequency love being. And it's okay. It's okay. Can I like love myself totally right here, right now? Just give yourself the permission to love yourself so that you can show others that it's okay, that we can now love ourselves. I did a one-a-day, and I said today, don't fall for the trap that we have to find something to hate, okay? That's what society does. We don't want to do that. We don't want to hate anyone. Love everybody unconditionally. It doesn't mean you invite everybody to your home, people who have different beliefs, but you know what? Love them unconditionally, because we've all been there, eh, Clayton? Like, you were never, where you are today, you weren't yesterday, or you weren't 20 years ago or 30 years ago. We all have our struggles,
Right, exactly. Right.
Yeah.
That's so true.
But it's those struggles.
One thing I was like,
those struggles and those times really that are educating us. They're awakening us to make change, to do it different.
Yeah. You're either going to, it's like an egg. If you crack from the inside, you let the light in and you let yourself out. But if an egg cracks from the outside, it's death. So we've got to learn to just break free and really find our true selves. And that's, believe it or not, something as simple as the structure water is to help you, guide you there. And then also, guess what? to believe in this means that you're probably going to get mocked. To believe in this, you're going to get put down. You're a crackpot. So, you know, we're all joining Clayton's crackpot society now, right? So,
Right.
Yeah. And about this loving yourself, like you were saying, my children and I have, we have on our laptop pictures of our family, and when I was younger and stuff, and I looked at the picture and I'm like, wow, it's so beautiful when I was younger. I wish I knew I was. It's like, growing up, you think your nose is not right, your ear is not right, this is not right, this
Isn't
is
that
not right,
something?
and always put myself down. And now I'm like, man, I wish I enjoyed it while I was young.
Yeah, but you're still young. You're young forever. And understand something too. You know what? Did you ever notice that what bothers us the most on a personal level, nobody even sees? Because guess what everybody wants? They want to feel you love yourself completely, because that's all we have to share. We just have our vibration to share. That is what we have to share. So you're going to share your vibration. So decide today what it is you want to share with the world, because that's all that everybody is wanting. They want that sense of vibration of love. They don't want anything else. I mean, don't you want to feel good? Don't you want to feel totally loved? Well, then you've got to do that for yourself so that you allow your children to do it for themselves. And guess what? Clayton will tell you, as soon as you've done that, you've just structured them and structured their bloodstream and everything else inside of them without structuring, eh, Clayton?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Right. It is, it's your immune system. You know, you're awakening and enlivening your immune system. And that's absolutely essential in this day and age to have a high charged immune system. So all the family time with your children. I mean, you're stroking and enlivening that aspect of their physiology to be, let's say, more resilient, more able to move through the world with ease, grace, ease, and joy.
Yeah, because the love that you give your children will allow them to let themselves off the hook and stop judging themselves. Think about how you just told me how you judged yourself, Natalia, that you weren't pretty enough, or this wasn't big enough, or that wasn't small enough. Well, you know, let's end the family curse right now, right? And allow our children to just love everything about themselves, right?
Yes, and I need to keep remembering that. I mean, even when I'm having a hard time with the children, and like I tell them to do something and they'd like do it opposite, or they would do something, and then it doesn't make that big of a difference. Even if I think in a week from now or tomorrow is it going to make a difference, it's not. And I've had a few times with I have a son named Samson, and he's got his little firecracker, and he's really, really quick to, in Russian, догадливый, like, if a baby sneezes, he runs, gets the tissue without anybody telling him. I'm not sure what the right word for it in English would be, but like he knows before, like nobody needs to tell him. And he was doing something, and I asked him to clean up the living room, and he hid everything behind the couch. And I just like kind of jokingly said it, and he looked at me like a little bit stiff, and then he just smiled and laughed and went and cleaned it up. And I was fine, and he was fine, and I didn't get all upset. And I wish I would do that more often.
Well, if you allow your little child, to get on all fours and roll around, and and goof around, they're going to do exactly what you want. Okay. Let me tell you something. Doesn't matter what age you are. I don't want to be bossed around by anyone. Okay. And remember something, and I know you already know this, but you don't own those children. Those children were sent to you by God to wake you up, to allow your little girl to come out and play again and totally love yourself. So we should be bowing down to those children. They should not be bowing down to us, because they're the ones that are trying to remind us that self-love is the answer, and we are the ones that beat it out of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I also have another question if you have some time. I've been I don't get migraines very often, but I've had the last 2 days, started yesterday, pretty much in the morning, and I have them rare, so I don't realize those triggers or whatever people say when they see a light and they know they're going to have migraine. But I just I was so foggy. I couldn't understand anything yesterday. And I was having such a hard time with noise. And then it just all of a sudden a horrible headache. And I haven't been able to take any pain medicine because it just I get a lot of pain in my the liver area, and I was thinking, man, if I had the structured water, I'm sure it would help. But tomorrow I'm going for a CAT scan, and I don't know, I'm kind of afraid to drink the contrast.
Whoa. Why are you going for a CAT scan?
I've been in the ER already a couple of times for the pain.
For what? For what?
I had
for a headache?
X-ray done, and they said, oh, there's nothing on the X-ray. Everything looks fine. There's no stones. Your blood work is unremarkable as always. But I get this, I feel like it's a leg cramp, but it's right underneath my ribs. And sometimes it goes all the way around, and other times, it's not so bad. But to bend over, I get a cramp.
Natalia, it's gas. It's gas. It's trapped gas underneath your rib. Up. It's called the hepatic flexure. How are your bowels moving?
Okay. I actually have good bowel movement. Well, I think they're good. At least once a day, sometimes twice, 3 times a day. Mostly peanut butter. In the X-ray, they said that there's. He said you have what we call FLS. He said, full of shit. I said, oh, my husband could have told me that. But anyway, and the doctor that saw me last week, Friday, and he said, I don't believe that X-ray. I think there's something else maybe going on.
Okay, you know what? I gotta say this, okay? And then I don't want to go on too much about it, Natalia. But you know what? That whole system for me, I'm talking on a personal level. Everybody, I want you to get that right now. I'm not telling Natalia what to do, but I don't go to doctors unless it's like a 911 emergency, if I was in a car accident or something broke. Okay?
Uh-huh.
All right? You know what, Natalia? I know how amazing I am. I need to just look at my day. And you know what? If you've got pain in your liver, that's got to be frustration, anger, or hate. Okay? So we know that. Okay, so what frustrated the living crap out of you yesterday or the day before? Because the day before you got so frustrated about something, and then the day after you have to pay for it.
That's so interesting because that did happen in this pregnancy in July. I had a few really frustrating, or I guess I was pretty much scared. Or I was driving, the car wheel kind of caught on fire, and thank God I came home, and when I walked out, then I saw this. I didn't smell anything when I was in the car, but when I walked out, I saw the smoke and actually a flame. And when I ended up in the ER just a few days later, pretty much, and they asked me if I had any stress, and I was like, well.
Okay. You know what?
Anyway, yeah.
I need to say this, okay? And I mean this in the best way. The majority of the population is never going to know themselves, their authentic self. At least, the way we're going right now. Okay? And guess what? Like Clayton said earlier, you can't do better until you know better. And you know what? The thing is the information's not out there. But you understand something. That which created the universe, you have everything you need already to have total vibrant health. You need to, you know what? From the minute you wake up until you close your eyes at nighttime, I'm telling you right now, you have to become the master of your emotions. What you put in your mouth, what you put in your mind, the way that you process, you can turn this all around. All right? We have been so dumbed down, okay, because we have been manipulated and controlled. Let me tell you something. On a personal level, why would I ever go to a medical doctor unless I had to go in for surgery because I just got in a car accident or I broke something? Everything that they do has the vibration is so far from love. I don't want anything to do with it. To go to a hospital means that I must hate myself. All they have is hate programs. They'll take a knife to you. They take poison to you. They x-ray you and radiate you. And everything is about fear to create so much fear in you, Natalia, that you want to get all these tests all the time because I have to find something wrong with me because there's no way that I could feel like this unless I'm full of disease or there's something wrong with me. Well, guess what? There's the disease thinking that something has to be wrong with you because that's the fear, that's the stress, and that's what's making you in a mess. So now they own you. So you need to understand something. Sick mind, sick body. Where the mind goes, the body follows. And I'm not saying you're sick in the mind like this. I'm saying that you have beliefs of what you're not. Because what you are is just totally amazing. You haven't even scratched the surface yet. What if you were to actually find what you truly are, okay? Which is this light being that can create anything you want on this planet and have a beautiful day every day. And even when there's a trauma or crisis, you'll take that breath in, you'll drink your structured water, and you'll say, 3, 2, 1, I got this. Because guess what? Right now, you've bought into beliefs. If something happens in the family, somebody gets a certain punishment. If something happens in the family, you need to have a migraine headache because everybody's always got one for that. If something happens in a family, we're going to punish somebody for a day, 2 days, 3 days. Everybody has different beliefs. We need to take a look at our beliefs because our beliefs make and shape us. They create the reality from every day that we have. Okay? I can tell you this right now. Okay? I did something not even 2 weeks ago that would be so explosive that could have thrown somebody way off and just really way off. And I'm telling you, I came back that fast. How long should I suffer for anything, Natalia? Because guess what? Do you ask yourself, do I need to have a migraine because of this? How much do I need to suffer because of this? You need to start questioning your beliefs because it's your beliefs that are getting you into trouble right now.
Thank you, Dr. Wolfe, for being so honest and really down to earth. It reminds me of a doctor I worked in the ER with, and he called it "Come to Jesus Talk."
Well, I'll tell you something right now. It probably was Come to Jesus Talk because guess what? Jesus believed in total love. And guess what else? Jesus did not like politics. He did not like bankers. And he didn't like anything unless it had to do with nature and natural and love. So there it is. So probably it was.
Thank you very much, Doctor.
So guess what?
Thank you both.
Natalia, I want you to love yourself right now. And I want you to understand that you can heal. You can heal yourself just from your thoughts because it's all about structuring and get the structured water going and just keep doing. But you know what? The biggest thing is this. Believe in yourself. You're worth it.
Thank you.
Clayton?
I think we all need to hear that sometimes.
There's not much I can add to that, Darrell. You hit right on the. It's a choice it's a choice that people make. She has to choose the clearer path, the path that is again, you're right, loving yourself, being one with all things.
Natalia, are you ready to let go of a good part of the beliefs that your mommy and daddy taught you, that your school taught you, that other systems taught you, that other peers taught you? Because unless you're going to let go of beliefs that other people have given to you when you were from 0 to 7, you're not going to have heaven on earth, my girl. So keep the beliefs that people gave you that say it's okay for you to love yourself, heal yourself, and be good to yourself. And get rid of all the other beliefs, all the guilt beliefs, all the judgment beliefs, all the I'm not good enough beliefs. They're gone right now. You have to get rid of them. And that means that you better start picking a practitioner that isn't going to do things that are going to hurt you. So the only reason why we pick therapies that are toxic and dangerous is there's a part of ourselves we hate. I want you to think about that. And what if you didn't think you were good enough? Then you would want to have somebody confirm that there's something wrong with you. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with you except believing that there is. I love you, Natalia.
It reminds me of my mom. All growing up, she says, just tell yourself there's nothing wrong. I'm fine. Nothing hurts.
Have a beautiful day.
You too. Thank you.
All right. Well, I don't know about you, Clayton, but I feel better.
I do too. A lot of good reminders here. A lot of good reminders, you know, and not only for us, but for those who are listening. And so it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
You know, Clayton, yeah, there was a time in my life where, you know, I never ever wanted to end my life, but there was a time in my life, a long time ago, it wasn't like yesterday, but that I really questioned myself, and I said, you know what? Everybody says that we can have a beautiful life, that we can have great health, you know? And I remember when I was younger, and I just went, why does everybody talk about it, but nobody seems to get it? Nobody seems to have it. And, you know, my father, you know, he was a part-time pastor, and he was a carpenter, and he used to always tell me about how we can have anything we want. And then but then on the next phrase was, we didn't deserve it. Do you understand? You know what I mean?
I do.
So,
right.
You know, it was so really, really confusing to me. And then, you know, and my father taught me a lot of really great things, but there's things that he taught me that that I don't like, how can I say this? I can let them go. I don't have to believe everything that our parents taught us. And I definitely don't want my kids to believe everything I taught them. I mean, when my kids were younger and they were still young, I put them all on the couch and I told them, I said, listen, the only way you guys are going to get through this is if I apologize right now. And because 70% of what I've taught you is probably not good for you. I know it's not. And when you're in pain emotionally or physically for the rest of your life, I need you to come to me and understand this, that I'm the one, you need to come to me because I'm the one who caused it.
Right.
And I said, you know, and I also told my kids, and I stuck to it. I told them all. I said, from this moment on, I forgive you for everything you've ever done or ever going to do. So never feel like you have to lie to me. So my kids would come home and tell me when they did drugs or when they actually had sex or whenever they did whatever they did. And, you know, we have to really, we can't make people guilty anymore. If you want to give a really good Christmas to everybody out there, stop. No more guilt. Don't give anybody guilt, especially your children. There's not a time in your children's life that when they do something that they're not already in their mind punishing themselves up, down, left, right, and center. They need to have parents that forgive them and just say, well, do you think you'll do that again? Or let me help you clean that up. Or I just don't want you to hurt yourself. Or, honey, why did you do that? Did mommy upset you or daddy upset you? Or is there something we need to do? Because they're not evil. They are little blessings from heaven. And I want to tell everybody right now, if you want to have a good Christmas, then guess what? Let's get rid of the guilt. Let's get rid of the judgment. Let's have unconditional love. You know, I mean, protect yourself and respect yourself. But, you know, let's just understand that everybody has different beliefs. And love is the answer, and self-love is the cure. Clayton, is there anything you'd like to say?
I think you've said it all. You know, I absolutely agree. It is time for people to wake up and smell the roses.
Yeah, because how sweet it is.
Yeah, how sweet it is.
Right? So
right.
Love yourself unconditionally, totally, and then shine that light on everybody and hug a lot, heart to heart, and give everybody compliments, okay? All right?
And genuine laughter.
And leave smiles wherever you go in case maybe Clayton and I will come and visit.
Absolutely.
All right. God bless everyone and have a beautiful night. And Clayton, I love you, man.
Love you too.
I love you, buddy.
Yeah.
See you next year.
All right.